Hello! Today we are going to be talking about gravity blasts again. However, this time we are going to put the gravity blast into a beat.
As you may or may not know,
the gravity blast is one of the quickest drum technique slash beats that you could ever play because your snare is just flying and your double bass is flying too. So basically we're going to try and take the technique that we learned in our last gravity blast lesson. Be sure you go back and watch that, the gravity blast technique lesson. I'm not exactly sure what number it is, but it's there. My videos are there and they're titled what they are, so don't worry. You can find it. Just go back and click all videos, see all videos, and then you'll see it. But anyways, here's how we take that technique and put it into a drum beat. So anyways, a little recap. You got the gravity blast technique with your hand on the rim of the snare. Alright, so once you've got that down pat, then you're ready for the rest of this drum beat. Now, this isn't a really difficult thing to apply. Once you have the technique going, you've got the hardest part down pat. All I'm going to have you doing is a right, left pattern on your bass like this. Okay, that's going to be eighth notes on your bass. And then you're just going to take that gravity blast pattern on your hand, your right hand, or left if you're left-handed, and put it over top of that. And then you're going to be playing 16th notes on the snare. The 16th notes are going to sound pretty much just like they do when you play that technique, just like this. And there you have it. Just play the eighth notes over your bass like this. If you'll notice, it's not very quick. It's not the coolest sounding thing, and that's okay, because when you speed this thing up, it's going to sound like you're flying. But once you get that down, and you've been practicing that for a good long time, and you've got the 8th notes and the 16th notes on the snare, then all you're going to add on top of that is your hi-hat going at 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. So it's going to sound like this. Okay, so when you run it all together and you're playing the 1, 2, 3, 4 on the hi-hat, the 8th notes on the bass, and the 16th on the snare, it's going to come together and sound something like this at a slow speed. Alright, so when you have this at a relatively slow speed, then you're able to go ahead and speed things up, and it's going to sound something like this. So the gravity blast, when put into a drum beat, is one of those things that sounds pretty amazing. It's just huge. It's fast and moving and pretty intimidating to drummers who hear it and think, oh man, that's just crazy. To be honest with you, it's one of the easier drum beats to play if you just slow things down, dissect it, cut it apart. And that's what I'm doing for you, just showing you the different components of the gravity blast. And learn to practice it slow, and then eventually you're going to get it quicker, especially when you get that technique with your hand on the snare down quicker. Go back and watch that video that I had called the blast beat technique, or the gravity blast technique, and you will learn how to use that. Work on that continuously with your snare, and eventually this whole thing's going to come down for you. So don't be intimidated by it. Just continue practicing, and you will have the gravity blast down in no time, and you can throw that sick, nasty beat down whenever you desire.